So flavorful, so delicious. The crispy tofu with the buffalo, the garlicky kale, all the fresh garlic. If you have it, use it. It's amazing. The beans, sweet crunchy carrots. Enjoy. Should we both say hi and like wave?
Yeah.
Hi! Welcome to Cooking with Little Chef. This is Little Chef. And this is 30 weeks.
Pregnant lady.
Yeah, this is baby brother.
Oh, Mom, I forgot to put on my little tiara and get bun.
Priorities. Okay, well, I'll let them know what we're making. So today we're making one of my favorite recipes that was inspired by, it was actually like completely inspired by the Wild Cow restaurant in Nashville. It's in East Nashville. If you ever go to Nashville, you have to make an appearance at this place. It's a vegan restaurant. It's absolutely delicious. It's my favorite. I literally like fly into BNA airport, stop at Wild Cow, pick up multiple meals. Like I'll get a couple of my favorite things. That way I have dinner and lunch the next day and like a bunch of delicious things because it's that good. I gotta get my fix when I'm in town. Oh, nice. Got a little bunny, little cat ears.
This is a bunny cat.
So this is one of the things that I ordered all the time. It's called buffalo beans and greens. And today we're doing it two ways because buffalo is a little too spicy for Little Chef, don't you think? Yeah. So hers, I've marinated these for about 30 minutes, so I pre-did two of these things just so that you weren't bored watching us do this.
So you made spicy for you and you made not spicy for me?
Right. So with extra firm tofu, once you cut open the package, you want to, before you take it out of the package, just hold it with the plastic and get all the water out as much as you can. And then you wrap it in a paper towel or napkins, like multiple napkins. And you set it under a stack of like, oh, you're cutting it up in a bunch of little pieces.
Yeah.
That's adorable. That's how you want to eat it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you want to wrap it in something absorbent and set it under a stack of like 3 heavy plates. Not too heavy where it's going to like crush the tofu, but just heavy enough that it drains it. Just leave it there for like 5-10 minutes and it slowly, the cloth or paper towel or napkin, whatever you use, will soak it up. So that's what I did. And then came back in the kitchen when I was done with breakfast and marinated. So in one container, you'll see what I did just with buffalo sauce. And the other one, you'll see the seasonings I picked for Little Chef.
Like it, Mom?
She likes balsamic vinegar and onion powder and thyme and a little Dijon mustard.
And do you like?
I love it. I think that looks great. So, whenever we're cooking, perfect. The first thing we do is we start with the most complex part of the recipe that's going to take the longest, and then we work backwards. Either parchment paper, we have a silk hat that we use.
It just sticks right on.
Yeah, it's really nice and it cleans really easily. I just got this for my birthday and I absolutely love it. So, do you want to scoop it on or should I?
I want to scoop it on.
Okay.
Like how I cut the little pieces?
Yeah, I think they look so good. And it's extra edges that got marinated, so it's going to be really flavorful and delicious.
And if you want to try the way you made it for me and Dad cut them up, you can try it if you want.
Right, thank you.
Just trying to get them.
Okay, so I'm going to leave the sauce in here because it's not meat, it's tofu. When it comes out of the oven, I'll actually just take it off of this and toss it back in there to get some extra juices. Because it tastes delicious. Okay, now you can flip this around. You can set mine carefully on the other side. So Little Chef has been helping me in the kitchen her whole life, and it's one of my favorite things because little helpers are the best. They're amazing. Let me show you what she's doing. We negotiated cutting one, so. Oh, that was like 3, you little rascal. Okay, so we're gonna pop this.
I want it to be extra small for.
Extra small for me.
Because I don't want it to be too big for your mouth.
Oh yeah. Turn this so you can see the oven. I'll just go pop this in. It's preheated.
Hi guys.
At 375.
I already said hi Dad.
We did, and I'll set the timer for just like 30 minutes and then we'll check it and see. So the next thing that we're gonna do, you wanna show them? So yesterday, Little Chef found a treat in the dehydrator. What was it?
Kale chips.
Kale chips. These are our favorite. My friend Coco, I'll have a picture of her page somewhere here, gave me this recipe for the vegan nacho cheese sauce. It's just basically, I used orange and red bell peppers in this one. I think my preference is yellow bell peppers with soaked sunflower seeds, which are so amazing for you, an onion and apple cider vinegar. It's so simple and it's so delicious. And we always make extra sauce so we have it for nachos or for other things.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, so crunchy and so good.
Mom, can you show them Bun Bun?
Okay, don't bun bun. Then we'll get back to cooking.
This is my little sticky called Bun Bun.
Yay! He goes everywhere. So these are delicious. So there's ways to make any recipe easier or more complex. For example, later when I make the homemade ranch sauce, I could chop up fresh herbs and things like that. I'm 30 weeks pregnant and going for the simplest option possible. So if you don't have time to marinate the tofu, that's fine. It just won't be as flavorful, but you can definitely toss it in, just get it coated and throw it in. It's still delicious. I did it that way last week. I just personally wanted to splurge today and marinate it because I know what a difference it makes, like soaking up all of the flavors. Okay, we have our kale in here ready. So let's pour the quinoa in here.
Oh, pour
Because
it.
that's the really important way that you start. Is you always gotta rinse it.
Mom, I'll move it around when you're rinsing it to help.
All right. That's a fun way for little hands to help with the rinsing. Just make sure that you lift your fingers up and let the water run the quinoa off your fingers back into the container so that we don't lose any down the drain. Like this. Hold your fingers kind of like this and let the water run the quinoa off into the container. Yeah. So we'll set this aside on this because we've got to get the water boiling first. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, so I'm cooking 1 cup of quinoa, which will be good for 3 or 4 of us. With a little leftover. So I'm putting 2 cups of water in the pan. She's working on that over there. I've got the quinoa over here next to it so I can plop it in easily when it's ready.
How do you do it? Why is that so hard?
Twist it towards the window. I'll hold that part, and then you gotta twist this part like that. So one of the things that we found is certain things will take longer up front with a little helper, but it's always worth it because the more she learns, the more independent she gets, and then the more helpful she is. So right now she can do so many things around the kitchen for me. She basically can make hummus herself. It's amazing. Seasons it, adds more ingredients, gets it right to her liking. Nice. These big muscles paying off. We'll just dump it. You don't even have to pull that out. When we dump it, it'll come out. But I'm going to use the strainer that the quinoa's in right now. So we'll set this aside for now.
Well, I'm getting it out with the...
Oh, no, that's okay. That's really clever. You could totally do it with that. But we don't even have the thing that we're going to dump it in ready yet. So
I know, but can I just take the lid off?
You want to lift it a little bit? Sure. It's very sure.
To get it out.
Just gently. And then Mommy will grab it and lift it. Just like that. Okay. So washing the kale is super important because it's organic. You want to set that down in there?
Yep.
Okay. I don't need to get water in this one, just water in this one. So you pick up each one and you gotta rinse it really well.
Got it?
Yeah, and then you can throw those. We don't want them to go down the drain, but we can set it there. Sure. And then you see this, how it has this hard piece. Some people like it. I like to take some of it off at the bottom and then leave it at the top because I think it's a nice little crunch. And then right now I'm just gonna rip it by hand because we have the time, but you can also just give it a coarse chop with the cutting board too if you like smaller pieces.
Well, this is kind of my big one.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Stepping in on your tail. So see, oh, that's perfect. Just ripping it off at the bottom.
And I'm just ripping all this.
Oh, I love that.
And this, what I'm doing is just ripping off kale.
That is going to taste so delicious. So the way that the restaurant prepares this is they saute garlic first in the pan and then they throw the kale in and kind of steam
I
it.
put a little bit of the chunk in.
Oh yeah? You want to see how that turns out?
Yes.
Right now we have,
Oh, this one will be really
that will be delicious. Coronavirus, and the grocery store doesn't always have what you need. So we currently do not have garlic, fresh garlic, which is very sad, and I've actually never seen the grocery store out of that, but they are. So I'm very thankful that they had all of the other ingredients that we were craving, and we will just have to do without fresh garlic. We are craving watermelon. We're ready for summer. Bring on summer.
Mom, I watched one for you. I'm going for the tiny one.
You are. Oh, they're so cute. The little baby Kale. Show the camera. Little tiny baby.
Wait, Mom, we can plant all those and make lettuce trees.
To make kale trees? I don't know. I don't think that these will grow the way you can plant other things and it'll regrow. But we can pick it up after this. I'm certainly no expert. That's our goal though. A garden would be amazing, especially with kale. You're gonna give it an extra rinse.
I'm giving it an extra rinse.
Get it nice and clean. It's a great job for little hands. My salad spinner gets used a lot in this house. It's lots of action. There's actually some water in here. I'm not gonna spin it because we're gonna steam it, so that's great.
Ooh, came up.
Okay, carefully.
Came up pour, right?
Yes. Do it in carefully, and then it kind of gets stuck, so you want to gently, with your hands back, just tap it in to get everything out.
Did you make the salad dressing already?
Not yet. I'm going to need your help to do that.
Oh my.
Do you want to rinse the beans?
Just need it like that and like that. Perfect.
Great. So you want to pour the can of beans into the strainer.
Okay.
Oh, careful, that's sharp. Just give it a shake. Yeah. Ooh, nice.
Okay. Is this one that's the sweet beans?
No, it's just a pinto bean. Are they sweet to you? I think they're delicious.
I think you should cook them.
Well, I'm just gonna warm them. Did that go down your top? Saving a little bean for later.
No. I thought I might need a little carrot chips to.
I'm gonna turn that on to 1. Just kind of forget about it. So the next thing we're gonna do is the kale. Just splash of olive oil in the pan. Like maybe a teaspoon. Turn the pan on, maybe medium high. Okay, let me put this kale in. And then you are going to be the carrot master. Okay, so we're going to just let this heat up and then give it a couple stirs and turn it off. So let's get started with the carrots. Now you could easily just grate a carrot or put it in the Cuisinart, which is one of my favorite things. But this little gadget gives the carrots a shape that I just absolutely love. They're a little bit thinner and thicker in different places and a little crunchy. So let me show you first and then you do it, okay? So I'm gonna hold half the carrot and I'm gonna work on the other half. So you go like this and just peel right down it.
Oh, without this, and then you put it inside?
You can put it in the bowl after,
Okay.
Just straight down, all the way. Keep it in a pile for me.
Can I try because that's my carrot?
Absolutely. So, you see how it's kind of leaves like a, I would really peel it more, but Parker's excited to get her hands on it. So you see how we did this?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're gonna turn it and you're gonna use that to hold it, and you're gonna go this way,
Okay.
away from your hand.
Okay.
And you're gonna keep going until nothing comes off. So just go slowly, take your time. Just keep it away from your hand. Awesome.
Help.
You want my help or you don't want my help?
I want your help.
Okay. Yeah, teamwork.
Like we should boil?
For our food to be ready. All right, let's get a big old pile of carrots. Should I get the other one started? While you have a cooking snack. soft.
The picture is going to be
So even though there's a couple pieces that aren't wilted yet, they will be quickly. Now this is absolutely incredible, starting with sauteed garlic. That's it there, it's all done. Our beans are just hanging out. We have quinoa cooking now. Our carrots are shredded. Our tofu's in the oven. What'd you get?
pineapple coconut water.
Ooh, wait. That sounds delicious. I'm gonna get our secret ingredient, which is not so secret. You can, if you prefer an oil-free version of the homemade ranch, you could use soaked cashews. I personally am a little bit cashewed out at the moment and opting for something easier, so veggies is going to be the base. I've heard it say veganese too. I'm not really sure the best way to pronounce it, but it is mayonnaise type that has no egg.
Can I try it?
Just big old scoop in there. And then we're going to start with some ground pepper.
Want to help?
Great. Probably like a tablespoon of dill.
That's a lot of dill.
Yeah. Can't really go wrong.
It looks like grass.
It does. And then we're going to do some onion powder. This doesn't have.
Remember when you made
Be
that?
careful.
You made a lot of the rainbow stuff on your toast, and I thought you made this.
Rainbow stuff on your toast.
That white stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Made
I
tofu cream cheese. It was delicious.
We made this before, right?
Yes, yeah. Oops, that was a lot of garlic powder, but that's never really a problem. So if you notice, I don't measure. I eyeball and taste and adjust based on what we need that day. A pinch of salt.
Too much barley grass.
Well, it's let's show them the spoon. Barley grass is what we put in our juice powder for our smoothies. This is dill.
Should I put this inside? Someone's gonna put this inside.
Nope, I just put that.
Wait, can I put a little bit?
So taste it.
Can I put a little bit?
One tiny pinch. That's salt. So you do not need, a lot. And if I was using it as a dip, that would be it, but we are not. We're gonna drizzle it, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water. We have filtered alkaline water on tap, so that's what I'm using. Just stir it gently.
I think that's a little too much water.
No, that's totally how you want it for salad. And if you did actually do it, you always try to do less water when you're cooking. But if you did do too much, you could just add more.
I think
more
we
leftovers.
should add more.
You want a little tiny scoop? Yeah, just with your finger, just a tiny scoop. I'm gonna check the oven. In about 25 minutes, it looks good. Whoa, a little bit is very different to her than to me. But just be patient. Well, that looks really good and creamy. That's like a good, it's not as thin as I had it, it's not as thick. So let's take a peek. See if it's done. I see no water on top, so you go to the bottom. There's no water down there. So it is done. I checked that at a great time. So we turn it off, move it off the heat. Add a little bit of seasoning to the quinoa. I prefer a little onion powder, a little garlic powder, and a little bit of salt. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the kale. It's just my personal pregnant preference.
Oh my, try this.
Delicious, the sauce, the dressing.
It has a sweet burning taste to it. Try it.
Sweet burning taste.
Yes, try it.
That may be all the garlic. All right, let's see.
It wasn't garlic, but it's very sweet burning taste.
Mmm. It was perfect.
I added like so much pepper to it.
So much pepper. Oh, that's my kind of girl.
I thought maybe it would make it so delicious.
I think it did.
And
Right.
it's so delicious. It just gives you, it just makes your mouth, it kind of hurts my boo-boo, but when it hurts my boo-boo, it just fills with, it's just so good.
We'll give it a little extra toss. This is 400 degrees, so stay back for me.
Okay.
Here's a little scoop. Put it right back in the size. All right, and at this point, everything is done. All that's left is plating this deliciousness and having a nice lunch. What do you say we eat outside at the picnic table?
I added a little carrot to our sauce.
When you cook with a 6-year-old, sometimes you get a little carrot in your ranch sauce. It's no big deal. You just gotta roll with it. All right.
Just not the spicy.
This is our garlicky kale
Just no
sauteed to perfection. At the restaurant, when I order this, I actually get an extra side and get more. We have our quinoa seasoned with some garlic powder and onion powder and a little salt. Our fresh pinto beans. And then this is our tofu sauteed in, actually baked in the buffalo sauce. This is my favorite right now. It actually has pineapple in it, and it's really delicious. It's the closest in my palate to the restaurant. Give that an extra stir. And then this is Little Chef's balsamic Dijon thyme. We have our grated carrots for the top, which are so delicious and crunchy. And then we have our homemade vegan ranch. And that's it. Let's get our bowls put together. All right, let's start with Parker's bowl. Quinoa. And the ranch.
That might be really good.
You can put them on your bowl. But I think that eating them crunchy is the best.
I thought you might want a little crunchy. I'm getting kale for mine.
Okay. Just set them on the side though. You do? They're such a good snack, huh?
Mom, look how much kale chips I put in my bowl.
Oh, delicious.
Wait, where's a whippy? I decorated it. Mom, we should take some and
All right.
Mom, we should take some and have a chip of it.
Now my favorite part is tasting it.
Try the second one.
This is so good. And leftovers are even better.
Mom, try this. Mom, try this little bite with the carrot.
Okay. How about you take a bite and let them know what you think?
Okay.
Do you think other kids will like it? Do you think they'll like the quinoa and the beans and the tofu and the kale?
And the stuff we put in to
The
that.
seasonings? Oh yeah.
Hope they like it.
We'll show them how good the tofu is with the kale. That's a good taste test. That's a big bite. You ready? You ready? Open up, open up.
Who wants to get on my dress because it's brand new?
Totally. How is it?
It's great. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite meals.
Your favorite meals? One of your favorite
buffalo.
food meals?
Yes, I love the buffalo sauce.
Is that
Tastes
why you
great.
asked if you could
It tastes
finish the
just
tofu?
like buffalo wings, just like meat. It's great.
See this goodness? Little
Ooh, a little carrot, like a little appetizer.
bee on it. And then I take a bite.
Very good. Very good. All right, should we say
Bye.
bye? We hope we inspired you to make something healthy today and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Bye. Very good. Very good, guys. Very good.